This is the story of how my neighborhood tried to steal my house. It was 2006, and I had just bought my first home. It was a foreclosure, a steal at half the price. The backyard was full of surprises like this perfectly round shed. I had no clue it was there. It wasn't on the property line, but it didn't encroach on any easements or anything like that. A few weeks later, I got this notice. It had bright red letters across the top that said, "Violation." It said that I had built an illegal shed at the back of my yard, and I needed to pay a fine immediately. The amount was due immediately. The thing was, I hadn't built the shed. It had been there for 15 years. The lot had been vacant for at least 10 of those years, which was why I got such a good deal on the house. I went down to the HOA office. They just laughed and told me to pay up, or I'd lose the property. Something felt off, so I went to the county and ordered a survey. A few weeks later, the nice folks from the county came out and marked the lines with bright orange stakes. And wouldn't you know it, the shed stood completely on my land. That night, I came home to find that someone had torn down the stakes and painted across my fence. Overnight, the HOA board went from polite and friendly to openly hostile. At this point, I was suspicious of everyone. Who were these people? What did they want? Over the next few weeks, I installed cameras, and sure enough, I caught the treasurer of the HOA sneaking around with bolt cutters and paint cans. I took the footage down to the sheriff and basically said, "Look, here's the evidence of a crime." So I don't know if anything came of it. It turns out the treasurer had been skimming money from the HOA for years. He was using fake violations to shake down homeowners. And in some cases, he was outright forging documents to claim people's houses were on common ground so he could take them to court and get them foreclosed upon. He was even using shell accounts to launder the money. The neighborhood erupted. People were calling each other names in the street. Things got so bad that half the board resigned in shame. In the end, the treasurer was arrested and charged with fraud and property tampering. The HOA was dissolved, and I got all my money back, plus damages. Every time I walk past that shed, though, I remember how close one forged piece of paper came to stealing my home, and how standing firm against the status quo can expose the rot hiding behind community rules.